This meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was provided as amended in the amended annual notice of meetings published in the Union County Local Source and the Newark Star Ledger on August 3rd, 2023. Said notice was posted in the municipal building as required by law, and a copy of this notice is made available through the office of the Borough Clerk. All contracts awarded by Mayor and Council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975 C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Please lead us in the opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So, Rosanna, do we want to start off while we're up with the proclamation on Italian Heritage Month? I should be able to get that one. Yeah. Come on, Phil. You guys want to come back around? Rosanna, show's yours.
Oh, okay. Do I read this?
So why don't you talk a little bit about Italian American
Okay,
Month
sure.
and what it means to you, and then I'll read that.
Absolutely. So it is Italian American Heritage Month, October, and it's very important. Roselle Park is and was a huge community that really Italians came to Roselle Park. My family is one of them. I am first generation here. We actually came from Calabria, and for us to call it home is a beautiful thing. For us to really just acknowledge all the families, different heritages that combine in our small town is amazing, but really bringing out the Italian American community is something that I have in my heart. I even brought pictures because my father, this is my dad, if you know him, he was a, this is my dad. He was a construction worker. He made, sidewalks and the steps and everything, and he really worked with his hands, and he didn't have a day off. The time that he had off, he was thinking about how to build things in Roselle Park. And this is my mom, and she was making the sauce. Yes, she's making the sauce. But she was also one of the lunch ladies in the middle school, and she was making soup for everybody. And I met somebody the other day, and she said, was she the soup lady in town? And I said, yes, she was. But this is just to really honor all the families, and I thank the mayor and council to just be able to acknowledge. So I did invite the Elizabeth chapter of Unico here, and Unico is really the largest Italian American service organization in the USA. Unico stands for unique. It stands for unity, neighborliness, integrity, charity, opportunity. And we have Nino Gueglia here and Fred Rinaldi, the president and vice president of Unico, and I would like to present this to them.
You guys want to say a couple words? We're happy to have you here. Yeah. No, okay, all right, fair enough.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
I just want to thank you guys for coming. Obviously, Signorello, it's like pretty Italian. And we've got like half the council here's represented with Italian Americans. So obviously, happy to have you guys here. Hopefully we make this a yearly thing and continue to recognize the contributions that folks, especially from the Italian American community, had to Roselle Park. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, of course. I'm a little bit out of it.
We just have to have somebody.
You mind taking a picture real quick? Thanks, bro. Environmental Commission head. That's all right. We'll forgive you. You're Italian today.
He was the best.
Paul and Larissa back. Closer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll go back there.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I had my nonno chew my ear off yesterday, so that was my Italian and American heritage for the week. Okay, may I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending any corrections?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on agenda items?
I haven't done this, so.
Okay, we'll shake the rust off, bud.
Bill Crossett, 412 Galloping Hill Road, on the agenda item for the new four-way stop at Clay and Walnut. I've lived in town 20 years, and one of the issues I could see coming up is people that have lived in town for any length of time are going to go up Walnut and not realize that a stop sign has been put in. That could create a different issue. And I have read about accidents involving pedestrians. My wife and I went by one time and a dog had been hit. He was on a leash. So not everything going on in that intersection is the fault of whoever's driving the car. Just tonight alone, coming up Clay, and this will happen 4 out of 5 trips, pedestrians just walking up the middle of Clay, no matter if it's daytime or nighttime. So I don't care. Put in the stop signs. It doesn't bother me. I'll know that they're there, but enforcement. You know, our police department does what they can do, but they're not going to sit there and watch the stop sign. They got other things to worry about. So I would just, if you could, just think again about it. And is it really the people that are driving the cars at fault, or is it the pedestrians? I was always taught as a kid, going down the street, you stop at the stop sign, you look both ways for traffic, and then you can go. I've seen pedestrians at that particular intersection just come walking down and keep on walking without even looking either way. So some responsibility has to be put on the pedestrians. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been super close to the metal on this one, but I do think part of it is not just because it's a pedestrian safety issue, but it's also a car-on-car kind of accident safety issue. Is that fair to say, Andrew?
Yeah, so we had our engineers do a traffic study of the intersection, right? So over the course of the last year, I believe, there's been 10 incidents at that intersection. I believe 8 of the 10 have been car-on-car, all of which have failed to yield to the stop sign traveling in either direction. So there are a variety of factors there. Oddly enough, the 10 accidents that have occurred there aren't necessarily enough to trigger a 4-way stop, but the proximity to the downtown and the preschool in the area is. One of the concerns that you expressed is a concern that we've discussed with the police department. One of the recommendations in the study report, which is public and we can certainly provide anyone who would like a copy, is the fact that we need to install advanced warning signage prior to the stop sign. Obviously, there needs to be a lot of communication about this if and when the stop signs are deployed, so as not to create a more dangerous situation at a 4-way stop for those of us who've maybe lived in town for a long time and know it to be a through street. It will no longer be a through street at that location. So there are a lot of factors that we're taking into consideration if this is adopted. So your comments are understood.
And then one thing, we do need to also learn how to be pedestrians again in Roselle Park. I don't see it so much here, but Westfield Avenue, if I see one more person play Frogger, like, it's bad. We've worked Councilman Johnson, Councilman Rabina, we've worked through the DOT, thank you, to implement new crosswalks and do just like walk a couple blocks away and cross legally. It's not that hard.
Mayor, I just wanted to say, if I have a second, I do agree with you. My motto, and I think even Jay and even the mayor, public safety is everyone's responsibility. It's not just the pedestrians, it's not just the motorists. Every time I submit something in writing and put it on Facebook, I make sure to convey that. So you have our sentiment. It's not just pedestrian, it's both. So it's everyone's responsibility.
Yep. Well said. Okay. Anybody else want to speak on agenda items only? Okay. I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2752 by title.
We just did.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I thought it was.
Mayor, ordinance 2752 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 34 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Environmental Commission, with specific amendments to subsection 2 entitled Members, Terms, Vacancies.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2752?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this? Just hanging out, Tim? Beautiful. Good to have you here. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2752?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2752?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is adopted.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2753 by title and report recommendations received from the Land Use Board with respect thereto.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2753 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 40 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park so as to adopt design standards within the B2 Central Business Zone District. I'm embarrassed to say I forgot to print them. But I do know that the Land Use Board concurred with the ordinance proposed by Mayor and Council. Their only recommendation was to explore the incorporation of these into the ROB district, zone district, which would be considered under a new ordinance.
Okay, so we need to put it under new.
It's just easier to
Okay,
do it as
got it.
part of
Okay,
the
fair
new
enough.
ordinance.
Yep. We thought we were being smart there. Okay, may I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2753?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want to come up and speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2753?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2753?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is adopted.
Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance number 2754 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2754 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Boards, Committees, and Commissions, repealing Section 37 entitled Technology Commission.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2754 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as ordinance, November 2nd, 2023?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance number 2755 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2755 is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park so as to establish an all-way stop at the intersection of Walnut Street and East Clay Avenue.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2755 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as November 2nd, 2023?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? I don't know who originally brought this up, but whoever did, good job. I know the people of Walnut are actually, I think they're going to be happy with this. Walnut's been a bit of a hot spot, so. Good job, administration, good job, council. Okay, call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance number 2756 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2756 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 4, Section 17 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Billboards.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2756 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as November 2nd, 2023? Okay,
So move.
Second.
is there any discussion? Greg, I heard you're really jazzed up about this one. I heard this is your favorite
Absolutely.
ordinance in a really long time.
Absolutely. Is this the one? Let me see. Billboards? Oh, absolutely.
Glad.
No, no. I mean,
I'm just messing with you guys.
no.
Let it go. Call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2757 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2757 is an ordinance for introduction, ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Licensing and Regulation of Amusements and Entertainments.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2757 for introduction, fix the date for second reading and public hearing as November 2nd, 2023?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, can you just highlight a couple of the things that we're doing here? I just think it's fun, some of the things that we're changing.
So several of these, so we're no longer going to license certain things that we, quite frankly, haven't been licensing for a long time in an active way. Some of them are traveling circuses, although I would say that we have a lot of unlicensed traveling circuses in town all the time. We are no longer going to license, in more real terms, jukeboxes,
Yay.
which we currently license 4 and totals a revenue of $100 for the town. We are no longer going to license cabarets, which is the last time we licensed a cabaret was in 2011.
Although I welcome cabarets to Roselle Park, should you decide to bring one.
So to that point, none of the things that we're eliminating licenses for will be outlawed. We are just no longer going to charge people and issue permits for them. There is really no rationale for it. Unlike billboards, which I know we mentioned very briefly, but the billboards ordinance we are going to keep because there is a safety component to that. However, for all of these other licenses, we really either have other mechanisms for enforcement, or there really is no reason to have a permit or license for these things.
Just
at
some
this stage.
dated stuff we're cleaning up.
Dated, yeah.
All right, cool.
It also helps the veterans, too.
They save $25 a year.
They like it.
What was it, $25?
So it adds up to a little bit more.
$25 a permit for a jukebox.
I'm happy to help the veterans on this one. Please call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative. The ordinance is introduced.
All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions listed on the consent agenda by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 289-23 is approving the time due calculation in terms of final payment for Keith Muller. Resolution 290-23 is approving the time due calculation in terms of final payment for Brian Flynn. Resolution 291-23 is authorizing extension of the 2023 farmers market through November 22nd, 2023. Resolution 292-23 is accepting the resignation of Paul Biamonte from the Recreation Committee. Resolution 293-23 is acknowledging that the governing body discussed the 2023 best practices inventory. Resolution 294-23 is awarding a professional services contract to consulting and municipal engineers for the preparation of a redevelopment plan for Block 606, lots 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 36.01, and 38 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 112 Locust Street, 101 West Westfield Avenue, 105 West Westfield Avenue, 111 West Westfield Avenue, 115 West Westfield Avenue, 121 West Westfield Avenue, 129 West Westfield Avenue, 133 West Westfield Avenue, 147 West Westfield Avenue, 159 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-way appurtenant thereto, in an amount not to exceed $18,951.50. Resolution 295-23 is awarding a professional services contract to McManaman, Scotland and Bauman LLC for redevelopment council services associated with Block 606, lots 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 3601, and 38 of the municipal tax map commonly known as 112 Locust Street, 101 West Westfield Avenue, 105 West Westfield Avenue, 111 West Westfield Avenue, 115 West Westfield Avenue, 121 West Westfield Avenue, 129 West Westfield Avenue, 133 West Westfield Avenue, 147 West Westfield Avenue, and 159 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-ways pertinent thereto in an amount not to exceed $25,000. Resolution 296-23 is amending Resolution number 136-23, correcting a typographical error and otherwise restating authorization of the submission of Form 1B, a strategic plan for the Borough of Roselle Park Municipal Alliance Grant for fiscal year July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. Resolution 297-23 is awarding a contract to Jacmel Construction LLC for the project Roselle Park Housing Rehabilitation, case number RP-51, in an amount not to exceed $19,900. Resolution 298-23 is accepting the resignation of James Rotman, and Resolution 299-23 is promoting alternate crossing guard Donna Rodriguez to the position of crossing guard.
Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda?
Yeah, Mayor, 291?
Okay.
Mayor, 298.
Anything else?
294?
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 291-23?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
So-
That was Jay.
Andrew, is it okay? Farmer's Market? Is there any conflict?
There's no change in
Oh,
any.
you were doing it because
Yeah,
of conflict?
yeah.
Oh,
No, there's no
good.
conflict.
Okay.
There's no change in any compensation.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter if it's extended or not.
All right.
Looking around the corner, though.
Just looking around.
There you go.
All right,
You got me worried there. I was like,
No, that's,
What?
Jay have an issue with the farmer's market? All right. Okay, so roll call.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 294-23?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, can you just give the overview of the lots and the idea with it?
Yeah. So this is, it's from the Locust Street corner, the gas station there, over to
Mellow Contractors.
Mellow Contractors, is that where it goes?
Yep.
And the other reason it only stops there is because I think there's a multifamily housing unit right after that, which is usually tough to acquire. Nobody's selling those things. There is no immediate development plans there. The only thing that I know that there's interest in, which I've kind of rehashed, and I don't want to say too much because it's a private business. I'm not sure if they're willing to divulge it yet, but I know the owners of Los Altos would like to put a hotel there, right? Because they do a lot of weddings and they have like families and stuff in that travel. And then we have another group that is interested in potentially cobbling together some stuff there and putting in office space. So that's really all I have at the moment.
Got it. Were the business, property owners notified around the area?
They have to be by law, right?
So when the area was designated a redevelopment area, they were notified both while the study was happening and once it was designated, they were communicated that it was designated.
What was the response like?
I think there was honestly some confusion as to what it meant. I received one phone call and
People thought they were getting their houses
the
condemned.
people thought they were having their homes condemned, and I think there was some misinformation about that. They were assured that that wasn't the case, and that honestly that their properties would potentially be more valuable to somebody if they were to ever choose to sell it, but this action would not force a sale of their property in any way, shape, or form. They retain full ownership rights of their property, and they're under no obligation to sell their property to anybody.
But just to fast forward where kind of I think you're going is I don't think, having done redevelopment in the past, usually at this stage nobody's paying attention to it, candidly, right? I wish more people would. I think what we will probably see and what you'll probably see as a councilman is if there are, so this enters into the redevelopment plan phase, right? So that sets really broad parameters, which could pick up people's interests, right? So like, I'll give you an example. Just for the record, into the camera and for everybody else here, if all of a sudden we were saying that there could be a 12-story building there, right, people would probably start paying attention, right? So I think once there's a plan in place, I think you'll get some people coming in and talking about it. But my guess is you probably won't see anybody really coming up with reactions until we put something together with a potential developer of what it might look like.
Do like the businesses also get notified? Do you know, like?
The
like
property,
business-
the property owners do.
Yeah, just the property owners.
Is it possible for us to notify like because there's an apartment next to the fuel one, because there's a couple of residents, is it possible for us to notify the residents and also the business, actual business?
To what end?
To just saying that this is going on,
So I guess I wouldn't be in favor of it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it feels like a lot of time, effort, and energy for, I mean, ultimately, there's nothing conceptual even there yet, right? So to say that there's so also another thing is nothing could come of this, right? So we could do a study and a plan and everybody says we don't want to do it. I mean, so your proposal would be, there's an apartment building on Locust Street, would be to send to the residents a notification?
yeah, because, you know, just say, this passes, right, where I'm talking about future, this passes, technically they have to move in a way, right? So
No,
if the building gets sold,
but that building's not part of the study.
that's not.
No. So it ends at the gas station.
Okay,
Yeah.
because right next to the gas station, there's a apartment.
Is it an apartment building?
There may be an apartment building next to the gas station, but I think what's getting lost here, if I could, is that they are under, the owner of that multi-dwelling unit, multi-dwelling building is under no obligation to sell.
Yeah.
They may, even if there's a plan, even if there's the most beautiful plan that we could possibly create as a borough, they could just choose to never sell their building and they will never be part of it.
Yeah, where I would agree with you is if we were condemning it, right?
Okay.
I think that might be more appropriate, because then it'd be like, you know, we have pretty awesome power to say, get out. In this case, so I think it bears always repeating because redevelopment's annoying and complicated. When we designate something as an area in need of redevelopment, nothing could happen to it, right?
Yes.
So in the past, we've done, I think actually poorly, studies specifically to areas that we already know somebody's interested in. I know of only, so there's how many lots here? Just call it like 7 or 8, right?
Yeah.
There's only probably like 2 or 3 that are gonna end up getting developed there, would be my guess. But you put in the whole area, so just in case at some point, let's just say the Chinese place, right? Those guys go out of business and they're willing to sell. They have the flexibility to sell that and be part of the redevelopment, but they're not compelled to be part of the redevelopment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's like, as long as they don't sell, like.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I would say, I understand the sentiment, and you're being a good councilman for trying to be communicative, but I would say it's a little bit overkill considering.
What about in the future, like, can we consider this, when we get closer to a definite plan and let them know, or you just wanna leave it up to the business, the property owners?
So let me tell you what we've done in the past, right? So in the past, especially big ones, we have done, where it warrants, we've advertised doing special meetings to talk about this, right? You know, also, the other thing is, so when they need to go to site plan for the land use board, don't residencies in the affected area need a communication as well?
Yes.
Right?
If they're going for a site plan approval or application.
Which you need to. So as a function of the land use board, these people are notified through a separate mechanism. I would just say broadly, and some of your friends I've also sparred with philosophically on this. We do, so just to let you know how it goes, Kanjan. So we have a meeting to, if the redevelopment plan is introduced, that's one full mayor and council meeting. Then you need another meeting to adopt it, right? And then you'll have a meeting, if there's another redeveloper, right? Then you'll have a redevelopment agreement, and that'll be one meeting, right? So just without, assuming that it goes as fast as possible, there's 3 public meetings where you can go to.
Mayor, if I could, there's actually, so with the plan, when the governing body introduces it, it's referred to the land use.
I forgot
board
about
also.
that. Yeah, so that's the other thing. So then, just like we did the design standards, we consider the design standards, it goes to the land use board and then comes back. So I would just argue there's a bunch of bites to the apple to come and see what's going on and talk about it. I definitely think, we could talk about it later, but I definitely think at this stage, when it's still
Yeah,
at the
I get it.
plan, it's a
Yeah.
little early
Okay,
days, would be
yeah.
my feedback.
All right.
Is that
Yeah,
fair?
No, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Okay, any other questions on this? But just to let you know, so Kanjan, also like as we get close, so once this is kicked off, since it's your ward, like you're gonna be getting an early draft of what this looks like, right? So, we could end up agreeing or disagreeing on what the final plan is, but, since it's your ward, you're gonna be getting early.
All right, thank you.
You should be a part of the DRC. We made an ordinance change a few.
There's no
years back.
there's no DRC on
No
this.
DRC for this?
So the DRC would only be, the DRC is,
Once there's an application for site
Exactly.
plan approval.
yeah, so this is, but again, this is, I have redevelopment such a pain. So you guys are literally all part of the redevelopment until it goes to,
Until they're applying for site plan
yeah,
approval.
right? So, and it could be as detailed, so I'm just gonna spit out some numbers here, right? So let's just say the redevelopment plan calls for no more than a 3-story building, and it's zoned for hotels, office space, and some residential, right? Like, you could do that in a plan. You guys will all get a chance to view that plan and vote on that plan, right? So you're not none of you are out of the loop by any stretch. You're the only one, candidly, just because it's your ward, who will probably get a first look at it.
All right, thank you.
That make sense? Cool. All right. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 298-23?
So moved.
Second.
I just have a clarification, Mayor. What is he resigning from? I think it's just maybe left out, crossing guard. Just pencil it in, please. Thank you.
It's in the
think
resolution.
It is in the resolution? Okay, okay. Just verifying if it's,
Crossing guard.
299 replaces.
all right, that's all I have.
Okay, Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Okay. Reports of, where we go. Okay, council reports. Joe P., gonna start off?
Thank you, Mayor.
Oop. Did know better than check my text this morning.
Okay, first of all, I want to send my condolences out to Jane Tumbletee's family. On October 7th, I attended the India Festival. Again, Ruben did a great job, as usual, so I want to compliment him. On the 11th, I attended the Recreation Committee. We talked about the 3rd annual Mischief Night Concert, which will be October 30th, 2023, at the Mike Morey Park and Chestnut Street. And we're gonna get involved with the Post 60 Miracle Legion, with the trunk or treat, okay? Basketball registration is, open today, so if you wanna sign up for basketball, you could start signing up now. The Mischief Night Concert flyers will be handed out in the schools on Monday. On the 12th, I attended the college recruiting at the Cassano Center. Thank you, Rosanna. Great job. I also went to the lead paint testing at the Anthony Signorella Center. Again, thank you, Wiener. Great job. On the 13th, I attended Latino Festival. Again, it was very well. It seemed like everyone was happy, and great job. And again, thank you, Ruben, for that. On the 16th, I attended the Historical Society. I want to get well wishes to Lynn Augustine. She's the wife of Gary Augustine, our historian. She had different procedures done. She's having trouble with her breathing, so I send my get wells out to her. Today I attended the joint sewer meeting, and it was mostly about approving extended contracts for renewal. And if you need to get a hold of me, you can get me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lyons?
Oh, thank you.
Just keeping everybody on the toes today.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents. This has been 2 weeks flying by, and we are definitely packed with a lot of things this fall. It is, okay, so same thing. I did the awesome Indian Festival. That was amazing, and we danced, and you guys danced like all night. So you win in the cultural. We do like 3 minutes. You guys are like hours. But it was awesome. It was definitely just great to be part of family, and that's how I felt that night. And I had to take off my dancing shoes to dance, but it was great. The 13th, we had the Hispanic Latino Festival. That was awesome. The band that played really just made Roselle Park really just alive, and I wish we could do it every day, all this music and having that going on, but that's just a dream. I went to the library this Monday. They have a book and craft night, and I'm just encouraging, come out that night. I came with cookies. They came with just their hearts. It was like 25 people there at the library. I encourage everyone to go onto the website, go onto the app, and see what the library is doing. There's so many wonderful activities. And I even made a little gnome. So it was beautiful, right, Tina? We had a good time. We have so many things coming up. Roselle Park Walking Club is still going strong, but 6:30 a.m. walks are winning. The nighttime walks have slowed down, but we're still going at the crack of dawn, literally. So I cheer them on. I do have a bunch of things coming up. So on the 21st, the Halloween, how do you say that? I don't even know. But there's wrestlers coming to Roselle Park. It's on Saturday, 6 p.m. at the gazebo. Please come out for that. Rain date, from what I see, is the 22nd. Mischief night, 6 p.m. That's the 30th. We have so many wonderful things. I'm going to read this off to you right now. From 6 to 9, there's Trunk or Treat, live music by the Empire Inflatables, food trucks. 6:30, costume parade at the youth center. The 7 p.m. Tesla light show will be happening. 7:30 is a costume contest and prizes, and 8 p.m. Fusion Dance Center performance and another Tesla light show. So that is going to be on Mischief Night. And then we also have just November, it's going to be here before we know. The Fall Clean Community is actually rescheduled for November 4th, and Veterans Day is also happening at the library. We have a beautiful service there. Other than that, I actually just want to acknowledge the Domestic Violence Awareness Month this month as well. And I have a great resource. They are called Stand Up Survivor. So if anybody's listening to this and someone's in need, I am actually a survivor of that in many ways. So I have a great connection. So if anybody's in need of that, I'll definitely post that. And then also to acknowledge Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We definitely have fighters, survivors, and families that have been affected by this, so let's just remember them and just have compassion. Our town is small, and we just send out even prayers of what's going on in the world, and just have compassion on everybody that you see. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Patel?
Good evening. On October 7th, I was honored to attend the Festival of India as the first Indian councilman. It was an awesome event and nice to see a resident get a taste of my culture, and I can't wait for next year. On October 13th, I attended the Hispanic and Latino culture event and was glad to see so many people attend. Yesterday, I attended the Build workshop for the Pentwood Derby fundraiser, and the Boy Scouts are still accepting new participants for $25. The race will be held on Sunday, October 29th at 11 a.m. I attended the commission meeting on October 11th, where we discussed a survey that will be posted on commission Facebook page for volunteers and other potential projects. Reminder, the Fall Borough-wide cleanup will be rescheduled to November 4th from 10 a.m. and the Mischief Night will be on October 30th, starting at 6 p.m. at the gazebo. Lastly, residents can report the street light outage directly to PCNG portal. If you search up PCNG light outage, should come up, and if you can't find it, please reach out to me via email. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at kpatel@rosellepark.net. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman. And just always a plug, it doesn't have a direct thing for light outage, but Roselle Park app, it's always good to have, you can report issues there. Do you know how many we were only up to like 500 downloads before, right?
Yeah, I haven't checked recently.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Councilman Rubino.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Roselle Park. As Rails to Trails Committee Liaison and bike enthusiast, on the 8th, I participated in a 10-mile community bike ride hosted by Union County Cadets. We navigated through local roads and greenways, starting here in Roselle Park at the gazebo, biking through Kenilworth and Nomahagan Park in Cranford and back. Younger motorists, I might add, need to adhere to the 4-foot passing law. On October 7th, I joined my colleagues here on the dais drinking chai, dancing, and feeling embraced and appreciated by our Indian American community at the annual Festival of India held at the high school. The festival has been an ongoing tradition celebrating our neighbors for 8 years now. Thursday, October 12th, I attended the Italian Heritage Flag Raising at the County Courthouse with Commissioners Mirabella, Palmieri Muded, and Mayor Signorello serving as keynote speaker, along with UNICO officials, offering guest remarks on the importance of celebrating culture and not forgetting historical contributions. Right afterwards, as Chamber of Commerce liaison and having assisted with bringing resources and employers to the event, I attended the College and Career Fair at the Cassano Center. Resident Evan Collier did a great job bringing colleges and universities to this event, and in my role as BOH liaison, I stopped by and supported the lead screening and training event at the Youth Center. Great information and giveaways were provided to attendees. Big thanks to Ursula Kolennikov for coordinating. Friday the 13th was the Fiesta Hispana y Latina, and fantastic turnout, by the way, for all of these events. And this is what I love about our community. There's education, there's support, and there's celebration of culture. Reminder, Election Day is coming up. Don't forget to vote. Vote with your heart and your mind. So many countries out there where you don't have a choice, where you're punished if you don't choose who you're told. Do your research and take a few moments to go to the polls on Tuesday, November 7th.
Or early voting starting the 28th.
Or early voting. Thank you, Mayor. It's a right we have that hundreds of thousands of American men and women have died for. So back to these events. It's with humility and appreciation. A big thanks to our borough employees, all of them, from administration to recreation, and especially Directors Shaw, Ranieri, and our volunteers for spending countless hours coordinating these events that bring us together, and so we have a little fun and a sense of belongingness in our community. As the council liaison to the Land Use Board, Monday, October 16th was our meeting. No resolutions were memorialized yet for new business. The Land Use Board was supportive of Ordinance 2753, which was just adopted this evening regarding the design standards with the B2 Central Business Zone District. As mentioned earlier, the only recommendation made to this governing body was for consideration to expand it to include the RB zone. As the borough's Clean Communities Liaison, quick announcement, and as a couple of my colleagues had mentioned earlier, the fall cleanup schedule for this Saturday has been postponed to Saturday, November 4th, on account of the expected rain. And as a dad and someone who appreciates history, if you're looking for free fall activities for the family and ways to educate the kids, this Saturday and Sunday, experience 4 centuries in a weekend with over 30+ historic sites throughout the county, offering tours, special events, exhibits, and demonstrations. Our museum at West Grant and Chestnut will be open 10 to 5 both days, and will be featuring exhibits on education and borough businesses throughout the years, along with a preview of 2026, which is the nation's 250th, and the borough's 125th anniversary of its founding. For more info on 4 centuries, visit ucnj.org/4C. I've been in touch with a number of neighbors in the ward on a variety of concerns, including parking, trees, sidewalks, parks, and ADA issues, and I'm happy to help and be your squeaky wheel. That's my job. 5th Ward, I'm here for you, and you know I'll do my best. I can be reached at 862-236-0019, jrabine@rosellepark.net. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Councilman Johnson?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. First, I wanted to start off my report with a moment of silence recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and to all the families affected by this terrible illness. Thank you. My report will be short tonight. Since the past council meeting and scheduling permitted, I have had the opportunity to support and attend the 8th Annual Festival of India, the lead training and screening seminar, like my other colleagues, and the Fiesta Hispania y Latina celebration. What can I say? All equally great events. You know, it's always great learning while embracing and celebrating diverse cultural traditions within our beloved community. Thank you, Rupen Shaw, for coordinating 2 of the 3 events in which I was able to attend. Kanjan, make sure you tell that committee thank you for the scarves as well. Last year they gave us the drumsticks, so they keep switching it up. Just for a few, just a few community announcements at this time. This Saturday, October 21st, located at Michael Morey Gazebo Park, the Diversity Committee will be hosting the Halloween. For more details, reach out to Chris Moreau, who's the chair. It's sponsored by Invictus and the Borough of Roselle Park. On the my second announcement, October 28th, 10 a.m., located at the corner of Galloping Hill Road and East Westfield Ave, also known as Route 28, the Greg Johnson Civic Association, GJCA, will be organizing an Adopt a Highway Clean Communities Affair. Also, Post 60 will be accepting donations for candy, so please reach out to Joe Verdun or Kat for that, on directions in regards to that. Please remember your voice matters, and as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of the residents within the borough first, because local concerns matter. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net, or you can call me at 908-303-1519. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Signorella?
Good evening. Well, I'm going last, but I attended and I enjoyed the Indian Festival on the 7th of October. I did stop in the cafeteria to have dinner, and I had a little chat with Kanjan about. I asked the fella what was in the tinfoil. He goes, Indian sandwich. Indian sandwich. And I tasted, I enjoyed some of it. The only thing that wasn't cooperating was the yogurt. So anyway, had a good evening. Like Roseanne said about the dancing, the shawl or whatever, the blanket was wonderful, warm. Whatever, I think we're gonna have a cold winter.
Councilman, this is a good council update. Thank you.
And I filled in for you, Mayor, as the Hispanic event. Enjoyed that evening. It was a wonderful night. The weather was perfect. That's all I have. Short report. So, thank you. So, you need to get a hold of me at jsignorella@rosellepark.net. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Councilman. I have a really short update or report for the night. I just want to obviously mention it's been I don't think we've had a meeting since some of the developments have happened in Israel and abroad. I just want to say, for the record, Roselle Park is a place where hatred is not and will not be tolerated. Feel free to reach out to me if you ever feel threatened. If anybody here, if you see something, say something. Anti-Semitism has no place in Roselle Park and will not be tolerated. And my heart breaks for those of us suffering abroad. Especially, it's one thing when there's military combatants. Sadly, that is the role of a soldier. It is another thing when we see some of the atrocities that have happened in the Middle East of, kids just trying to be at a music festival and being slaughtered is heart-wrenching and disgusting, and my heart breaks for those folks. So I encourage everybody to keep our Israeli friends and broad Middle Eastern friends in our prayers. It's also to say, there's Palestine, the West Bank. There's a lot of good folks there too. They're not all Hamas, right? So it's important to note that as well. And then, obviously, broadly, it feels like the world's on fire, right? So everybody suffering in Ukraine, it disgusts me as well. The relentless attacks on civilian infrastructure there. So I hope the House of Representatives can get their act together. I hear they're taking applications for House Speaker, right? So if anybody wants a job over here, Andrew. But it really is important that we have a united front as the United States of America. And I really hope that we can get together there in D.C. to make sure that D.C. is functioning again, because the world seems to be in various state of crises, and we seem to be paralyzed in our ability to react, which is not great. So, mayorsig@rosellepark.net. Thank you, everybody, for being here and attending.
Amen. I don't know if that was an amen at the end or amen.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Would you like to come up and speak? Please do so now. What a surprise.
Hi, Linda McCready, 26 East Colfax Avenue, Roselle Park. Is it on?
It's on.
Thanks. I am the Vice President for the Historical Society in Roselle Park, and I just wanted to say thank you very much for your shout out for the 4 Centuries in a Weekend. We will be there from 10 to 5, and several different people will be there to assist and let them know what we're doing. I think it's little known in Roselle Park. The museum is located at 7 West Grant Avenue, and it's open every Saturday from 10 to 2. And anybody who wants to come in and at a different time, all they need to do is call, leave a message, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate them. Thank you.
Good job, VP.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Shania Twain?
It's not speeding. Bill Crossett, 412 Galloping Hill Road. Good evening. A few years back, maybe pre-virus, I had brought up the Bender Halloween, which I'm all for. Everybody goes over there, they have a good time. I applaud the residents for what they're doing. Last year, the pedestrian and vehicle traffic on Galloping Hill Road, people were parking on both sides of the Galloping Hill Road from my house, 400 block, all the way down to Grant. My neighbors and I were out front, and you would just watch kids, adults, it didn't matter, just take off across Galloping Hill Road, no matter what the traffic. And a few years ago when I brought this up, Councilman, you mentioned Lincoln was having the same problems. Alls I would ask is, they look at a couple different things. Instead of the barricade on Clay being at Woodland, maybe they move that up to Galloping Hill Road, because so many cars keep trying to turn down Clay, and then they can't go anywhere except Woodland, and by the time they're getting there, they can't park on Woodland either.
Yep.
And the pedestrian traffic, I don't know what anybody's gonna do. It was so concerning last year. I walked over to Bender, talked to a couple of the police officers, just saying, hey, it's just out of control over there right now. And they said they'd notify somebody. I wasn't standing outside to watch, so they probably did. But if anything gets discussed about the safety of pedestrians and vehicles on Galloping Hill Road and Lincoln, see what we can do this year. A while back, the former chief was here, and he gave a briefing on the crosswalks on Westfield Avenue. And then eventually, at least one of those intersections had the yellow lights put on.
Yep.
And is it just one, or is there two?
There's a couple. So actually, I think there's two now, and then we're getting a third, I think, actually on Grove.
Well, just yesterday, going up
Jerome,
Westfield
sorry.
Avenue, there's crosswalk here and the next one with the yellow lights, and this guy just darts out in between the two intersections. So again, like I said, with Clay and Walnut, some of the blame has to go to pedestrians.
I think a lot of the blame goes to pedestrians, to be honest. I'm being serious, right? Like, it is, you are taking your life at risk when you cross a 2-lane highway like a jerk. Like, it is inappropriate, totally inappropriate.
And in addition, I didn't realize the yellow lights were there when they first went up, and I'm going up, and they started flashing.
Yep.
And the person just took off across the road, didn't look to see if traffic was gonna stop.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of common sense here. I think it scares me when I see also, so we have a lot of goods going on Westfield Avenue, but that means more people, and that means more, potential for accidents. So, luckily, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but just a reminder, so we're working with DOT to do
Yeah,
a study
I
along
saw
that
that.
corridor, which is hopefully will yield some positive results, so.
The last thing I got, and Mr. Mayor, like you can't believe half of what you read on Facebook.
Yep.
There was a conversation link in the past week about the taxes that the new apartments are paying.
Yep.
And I told him, you can go look at it if you want, I told him, if you'd been at the council meeting where Andrew gave a very detailed explanation of how the taxes are calculated for the one that was open,
Yep.
maybe they would know better. However, this person is continuing to push it on Facebook. I don't know if he's trying to get people riled up. He is now telling everybody that the apartments do not pay school taxes. So y'all just need to set him straight.
I appreciate it. It's election season. I'm used to it at this
Yeah, I
point,
know.
but thank you, Bill.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm Gabriel Carvalho, 152 Warren Avenue. January of this year, the town sent a crew over to my house to take down a couple of trees in front, and they accidentally dropped the trunk on my electric wire. We went through the trouble of getting the insurance involved, and we had to pay a deductible. Long story short, we're in the situation now where we filed a tort, but we were denied our reimbursement. And this is sort of a last-ditch effort. I don't know who to talk to anymore. We've sent a couple of emails and got responses that there's nothing that can be done. So I was just kind of hoping that someone here can sort of help with this, because we're, in short, or just in its simplest form, the town was at fault, and we're just looking to get reimbursed for the expense that we dished out.
Yeah, I think I remember this. I get a lot of these. I'm sorry to pinpoint it. I think the issue on this one was the tort claim form was filled out too late, I think is part of the problem.
It was after the 90 days. And I mean, I can get into like the circumstance, but like long story short, we waited till after the work was done.
Yep.
To file the, well, I mean, originally, we thought the insurance company was gonna chase it for us.
Yep.
And they sent a letter saying they were denied. We didn't get that till after the 90 days as well. So we were just, I mean, we
Yeah, I
weren't
don't-
aware there was a 90-day limit, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll be honest with you, a lot of this is the first time I've, in 5 years as mayor, had to deal with this, so I don't even know if there's any other mechanisms to provide, right? Andrew's here, you can talk after the meeting. There's nothing that jumps out at me. But, you know, we are, I'm certainly open to have the conversation, but we are also subject to requirements that we need to hold. So we're part of a joint insurance fund, which, you know, we're beholden to certain requirements as part of that joint insurance fund because, you know, we can't afford to insure ourselves as a small municipality. So I'm happy to talk after the meeting if that works. I don't know if Andrew, you want to add anything?
No, that's the issue is the 90-day with the Tort Claim Act. So the JIF is our insurance company, basically, right? We're self-insured, but it's 40 municipalities that insure each other. So the Tort Claim Act is a 90-day rule, it's a 90-day law. So they were obligated to deny it, right, in their world. So, you know, the borough can quite candidly give a one-time exception. I would have to talk, you know, a little bit internally about how we would do that. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but how much is what's the deductible?
I think it's $1,000.
$1,000? Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's a discussion maybe, you know, we can have internally, if that's a potential fix, you know, given the circumstances here.
Sure.
That's probably the best case scenario. I just don't know if we're in a position to do that. So we'll have some internal discussions. I'll get back to you. I believe I have either you or your wife's email.
Yeah.
I apologize. I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but like we will get back to you. If we want to talk after the meeting, we'll talk
Okay,
also.
appreciate
Okay?
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You just hanging out tonight, Tim? Just Thursday night entertainment? I heard about that. That's the repair day. That's cool, man. Are we gonna do that?
We gotta talk to Ruben about a date, but we'll make it happen.
I like it.
Get some
Okay,
volunteers ready.
cool. All right, I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no items for closed session. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.